Welcome to the Selectmen's meeting for June 20th, 2017. First item is salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, the first item we have on our agenda is election of a new chairman. I would like to make a motion to elect Elise Miller.
Second that motion.
I accept.
Okay. Any discussion?
The only discussion would be to start that chair position next week.
Okay. Okay, call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
You second that approval?
Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes of the last meeting.
And I will second them because you weren't here for that.
I think.
Sure. Okay, any discussion?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor? All opposed? And one abstention. Department heads committee chair updates. Three River Land Trust.
Okay, Jennifer, I noticed that the promissory note is down further. Are we going to discuss that?
Yeah, because if the board chooses to act on it, I mean, you can, how they've asked me to set up their agendas, I mean, you can speak as a department head and tell them what you have going on, but if they're going to take action, it has to be on a new business, or unless they decide to
see.
change that, but
I
that's how
get you.
they've instructed
Okay,
me.
that's all right. Yeah, a little update on the situation. I think you're aware that there's been a little bubble with the grant. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not.
No.
Just because of the landowner backing out?
No.
Oh.
This is the grant for the top of the hill, for the 25 acres.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
they've-
Land and Water Conservation Fund.
The board did receive an email.
We probably did, but I,
We did.
yeah,
Okay.
fill me in.
So we thought it was all approved. It had gone through the stages that they normally go through, and when they get to that point, they're good. But we got an email probably 3 weeks ago now that the new head of the Department of Interior wants to review all grants over $100,000.
Okay.
Do you remember saying that?
Yeah.
So we've done a little bit of looking into that as much as we can. The word we're getting is it's a new administration. They want to know where monies are going, and that's
yeah.
fine. I mean, they should. We did send a letter to the congressional delegation, which I'm not sure if you've gotten a copy of. It does mention the town in there, because the town has spent money as well as Three Rivers, so there's 3 projects in the state of Maine right now that have LWCF grants, one in Waterville and one in Medway and Acton. So they're all mentioned in the letter. The big unknown here is the time frame. I mean,
Yeah.
we're still quite optimistic that we'll get the funding. It's just, will it be 2 months? Will it be 3 months? But it isn't going to affect the closing at this point, and we're still going to close on the 28th is the plan right now, the 28th of June. There's a couple things that have to happen before then, but Brad drafted a promissory note, which is between the town and Three Rivers, which spells out, the fact that we've discussed the town applied for the grant, but through Three Rivers, and the town will reimburse Three Rivers. So the promissory note kind of spells out that. And I have another sheet here, which I can find the right one. Too many papers. And we're assuming at this point that the grant is going to come through. That's the promissory note.
Is that what you just gave us?
Yeah, they have it.
Okay.
They have a
Yep, we
copy
have
of
it.
that. And then this was the sheet, and I think you have a copy of this one that spells out.
Yep.
You do, okay,
Oh, I'll take this, but because I didn't print it off, but I did read this.
yeah.
You can keep that for your
You have
records.
that one. Does anybody have questions on that?
You saw this too, right?
That's how
On
the
email?
reimbursement will work.
I
Yes.
didn't, I wasn't able to open it on my
Oh.
phone, so.
I do.
Got it. It spells it out.
Yeah, so, and if I can just, so, because it's a land purchase that, you know, because it's such a legal document, we are, per your request in the beginning, everything is going through the town's attorney. And he's drafting and reviewing everything. Carl's not here tonight to have you sign anything. At the end of the day, the Town of Acton voters approved 75,000 and change and 24 and change out of that other account to purchase the land. So
Right.
Brad knows, I mean, no expenditures will happen outside of that article for the town.
Right.
So how the town,
Right.
so,
Right.
You'll
he is
notice-
keeping a, you know, when we get to the part of the sale, that will, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Work out. So I guess at this point, I mean, you have all the information. We are getting close to closing, hopefully the 28th. And I think we will. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't at this point. We would just need to get that promissory note signed by the selectmen before closing.
Right, so Michelle is authorized based on town meeting warrant to sign the closure of the loan that the townspeople approve. So she's meeting with SIS and closing on that loan Friday, just like she has with all the other ones. The promissory note that you have, that's just to review, you're not signing it tonight. Again, your attorney did draft it, but next Tuesday, the town's attorney may be here to answer any last-minute questions, but the closing is scheduled for Friday,
Wednesday.
for Wednesday,
Yeah.
Well, we're talking the
Thursday's the
28th.
28th,
I think
okay.
it's Wednesday, yeah.
And one of the only thing that, and we just touched base with the attorney again right before the meeting, we're gonna ask you under new business to, decide to authorize one selectman to sign on behalf of the closing. So decide who's gonna be able to be there for that. But other than that, the attorneys are handling all the title searches, the settlement paperwork. It's just a regular real estate closing based on what the voters agreed to.
And the Three Rivers will pay the closing costs at closing, and then that gets reimbursed, hopefully when the grant comes through.
From the grant, yeah. Yeah, we talked about that way back when.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other questions?
No, I just hope it all goes through by the
No.
Right.
end of the
Lot
month. So
of-
typically, that's how it goes, right down to the wire,
Lot
so.
involved.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Old business, specialty vehicles, sales contract.
So you guys chose your ambulance winner,
Yes.
and you asked me to send the contract over to the town's attorney, which he reviewed. He had a couple of changes that I sent to you. He went back and forth with the specialty vehicle attorney, and they came to the agreement. It was primarily on where, if there was any legal follow-up, what state that would take place in, and they essentially agreed to just remove it and let a judge decide if it comes down to that.
Okay.
But this is the same contract, the numbers, nothing's changed, for what you guys originally approved when you met with the fire chief
Okay,
and granted the bid.
sure. It's for $278,613. So they just pulled that part right out of there? and-
They took the
yeah.
clause completely out.
Yeah, it sounds.
And they changed the Acton Fire Department was listed as the buyer, and you
Right.
wanted that changed to the Town of Acton.
Town of Acton,
And then
yeah.
the delivery says, the Town of Acton's department at the fire station, so it's not, the fire station isn't listed as the buyer anywhere, the Town of Acton is.
Okay, okay,
And Chief Johnson was fine with this, the
Yes.
specialty line.
Yes,
okay,
he's reviewed it along the way.
good, good. And we've already agreed to this and whatnot, so
Yeah,
really.
you already made a motion, so
Yeah.
And we
really
really
just,
don't need a vote on it or anything.
Yeah.
So
you just
we
sign
just
it,
sign off on it.
and they'll start building it.
Sure.
And when does the temporary one get delivered for them to use?
I'd have to double check with the fire chief, I'm not sure. think part of the agreement when you went with them, wasn't it, that it would be immediate?
Yeah, it was supposed to be, it's gonna come as soon as I get this paperwork.
Is the town's ambulance still running? Have you had any more any more
moment.
problems with it?
Haven't heard anything.
No. 17, okay. I think it's, yeah.
Am I printing?
I printed it
Print,
by, I
sign.
signed it, and then title
Okay.
and date. Your first official one, and it's a big dollar amount. You can give that to Jennifer.
Thank you.
ACO position.
Bear with me, I gave away my agenda, so I'm working off mine here. So we have it posted. We've gotten so far one resume. We've got it running in the Smart Shopper. I have it running on cable. It's on the Facebook, newspaper, pretty much. I didn't know if you wanted to, thank you so much. I didn't know if you wanted to put it out, put it anywhere else, but those are the places. We put a deadline of next Tuesday. Remember, your animal control officer's notice is through the end of the month. If there's anywhere else that you wanted to, and how you wanted to handle it once Tuesday comes and you have resumes, how you want to set up appointments, or what you'd like to do.
Yeah, we should do appointments. I mean, if we get more than one, we'll have to interview that person anyway, but.
So does the board, do we think that maybe we can find some time, maybe next Thursday, if I set up, look over the resumes, and like I said, so far I only have one, but
Sure. Well,
if
yeah,
they all
like-
have some sort of animal
Okay.
background, just set them up. How often do you want to meet with
We
them?
might need much more than 15, 20 minutes, I think.
20 minutes?
We'll do
Sure.
20.
20. Yep. If we do next Thursday, can we start it at,
My calendar.
let's see,
So Thursday would be the 29th.
yeah. I probably couldn't be here much before, well, 5:30 or 6,
Okay.
so,
And I'll just be in contact during the week, let you know how many we have.
okay,
I can send you the resumes
Sure.
via email, so you can look at them ahead of time and
yep.
go from
That
there.
works. MMA action plan, couple things have been done,
Quite a few things have been done.
great.
Quite a few things have been done. We fixed the, notice the refrigerators are turned the other way? Did anybody
Yeah.
notice
Ah,
that?
yes, okay,
So that was, that got done. The outside of this door, the gutter portion got done. The ceiling tiles were replaced.
fire extinguisher got hung up.
Fire extinguisher signs hung up. The keypad at the gym was disabled.
Oh.
So we need to take a look at it. We've got the individual coming in on Thursday to tie up some of the last ones.
Okay.
Just to kind of catch Kim up. So Maine Municipal is our insurance company. They come in once a year and they do a walk through the premises, and they make a list for the selectmen of things that they want to see fixed. So we've been working for a couple of months now on getting that list fixed. So we're almost to the end of it.
Okay, anything else on that?
Chugging away.
Nope. Mary Grant policy,
So at the last meeting, you guys told me that you wanted the fire piece of it changed. So I reached out to Jeannie Achilles and the fire chief, and they were both perfectly fine with that and actually happier with the way that you decided you wanted it. So the policy's being rewritten to basically say that the party of interest that's going to have the activity at Mary Grant is responsible for getting a fire permit that day and responsible for everything, rather than it being a blanket one for the year. That's what you told me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
yep, unless it's an official Mary Grant thing, then they can
Right.
get a,
And the fire chief actually told me that if it wasn't official, that he couldn't issue them to the committee members anyways, he'd need to issue it to you as a selectman.
To the
Because
town.
it's town property, so
Yep.
they may have to get that one redone as well. But, She was happy with the changes, she was taking it back before her committee, and once they give the final okay, we'll bring it back to you for signature.
Yep.
Okay.
He actually could issue it to a member of the committee that was running whatever function was going on there.
Okay, I'll let you tell him that.
I will.
Okay.
Because basically, that person would be the one responsible for it. I mean, I'm not gonna sign a permit for someone else's use,
Right.
so.
Okay.
Okay, new business, liaisons. Now,
So I promised you a list.
yes,
The day has gotten
way by.
way by with everything, the situations we've had going on, so we can't just make a quick list, so
Do it, or we could do it next week, whichever, it's not critical.
that's up to you.
What's easy, you wanna do it next week, or you wanna do it tonight?
We can whip it out now, can't we?
Okay, yeah, because I have a
Sure.
couple of situations, it would be nice to.
Okay.
All right,
sure.
so let's just make the quick list first. So the fire department, the school, the Warren and Finance, the, what else did you do?
Land.
Conservation, Forestry Committee,
Rec.
Rec, Transfer Station. Road Committee, thank you. Cemetery, you want to hold off on that one
Yeah.
for now?
And we have
6, 7, so we're missing one.
Kenny's downstairs, the
Yeah, we were doing a town hall one altogether, so
planning board.
town hall, put that under, we'll do planning board.
Planning board always has one.
Planning board, right, because it was just the elected departments.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
Who was
2,
on
4,
planning
6,
board?
8, that's 8.
I think I was last year. I didn't, there wasn't much to do. Okay, who wants fire department?
So if last year it was Ed?
Yep, it's time for someone else.
Okay.
Which one of you two would like fire department?
I'll take it.
Okay. School,
Do school?
you want school?
I'll go with school.
I'll take warrant and finance. Conservation,
I'd do that.
okay. Rec,
I'll take the rec.
okay. Transfer station, I'll take the transfer. Road,
I'll continue with the road.
okay. Planning board. Let's see how we balanced here.
I got
So if we give,
I've got two.
We've got two.
Elise has got
Elise has
two,
three.
Kim has got
Two.
two. It never balances anyway.
no, usually there's always going to be one that has 2.
Yeah,
The only other thing that I would say, if Elise is gonna be chair next week, if one of you guys took rec and one of you took planning board, the chair is generally always the first contact from my office in the town hall, so it's almost like a committee. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
That's
is that
how we
what you were
did it
trying to
last year,
say?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, you want rec?
So if we have put Kim on rec.
And I'll take planning.
All right, so let me make sure I have this right for the memo. So fire department is Elise, the school is Kim, Warren and Finance is Ed, conservation and forest is Kim, rec is Kim, transfer station is Ed, road is Elise, and planning board is Ed.
Yep. Yep.
So your memo to these departments, you want to say what, similar to the last year's, any changes?
No, I don't think there's any need to changes, just advise
Essentially,
them who
the
the new,
first person to contact, should they have any concerns, and you'll want copies of their meeting schedule, which we
Sure.
try to get to all board members anyways, but,
Yeah.
yep. Yep, and we don't typically make every one of the meetings, but, some of them only have a meeting once a year too, so. But, get to the key ones and, yep,
I'll send something for you to proof.
sounds good. Okay, settlement statement, title app, et cetera.
So this comes from Burke and Clegg. He, looking at the closing next Wednesday, he's looking for one person that's going to be available during the day, and he would like the selectmen to make a motion to authorize that individual to sign all of the closing documents, per the warrant article for Goat Hill. I don't have a time yet, but it sounds like we're shooting for Wednesday.
Okay. Well, I work during the day, so I'd have to take time off if one of you two want to.
Do they do it here, or do we go?
I would imagine we can do it here. I don't think that the closing location has been determined, but we could
'Cause
certainly
I'll-
ask.
A lot of times it's at an attorney's office, but,
That's what I was wondering.
Two. Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
As long as I know ahead of time to have coverage for the library, I can
We'll
step
know the
out.
minute we know. What we're working on.
I mean, I'm around.
28th, I'm free. I have nothing, so.
So I guess we would need a motion, somebody to,
You want to do it, or?
Are we each choosing?
Yeah. So, either one of you two, whichever one of you two wants to be the one.
Do you have to work at the library?
Yeah, I do. I am scheduled to work, but I can,
I mean,
I hate to put, we have a lot of paperwork if you want to review it. I just hate to put you personally on the spot where it's your
Yeah.
first meeting, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Only because Elise has been getting, we certainly have time to catch you up, but they've been for
Maybe
the
if
last
Elise
6
wants
months.
to do it and you be the backup to it, or,
yeah, that's absolutely.
Okay.
does that work?
Or you both could go. Certainly,
Yeah,
they would love to
actually.
have two.
Yeah, there's nothing that says you both couldn't go.
I make a motion that I go and sign the closing papers on June 28th with Kim as backup.
I'll second it.
Can we just do the motion without the date, just in case it changes
Yeah.
to
Oh.
Thursday? I'm sorry.
I make a motion to be, I can't do it on
That'd
Thursday,
be my
though.
luck. Let's just make a motion to authorize the order and we'll work it out.
I make a motion that I go and do the closing for Goat Hill.
Seconded. Okay, any further discussion? No? All in favor? All opposed? Okay,
So you heard that, Carl. It has to be Wednesday.
that works.
No, it has to be Wednesday.
Has to be Wednesday.
28th.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Next, we have a freedom of information.
Promissory note, you're all set. You're just going to review that.
Sure. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, let's see. Freedom of information. This is from a Michael Cole. Under the Maine Freedom of Access Act, 402. I am requesting an opportunity to inspect or obtain copies of the public records that indicate how many complaints had been made on the property owned by Sean Cadigan at 8 Loop Road, Acton, Maine, especially complaints that have to be made about automobiles. If there is any fees for searching or copying these records, please inform me if the cost will exceed $10. However, I would also like to request a waiver for the fees if that is the disclosure of the request information, if the public requested information is in the public interest. This information is not being sought for commercial purposes. If you intend to deny this request, I will expect to hear from you within 5 business days, mandated by law. Also, if you expect a signature delay in response to the request, please contact me with information about what you might expect, copies or the ability to inspect the requested documents. And it's signed by Michael Cole. Did we have a regular Freedom of Information form, or?
We do, but
Okay.
state law is very clear that, that's acceptable.
that's
He's met
fine
all the
with me.
requirements. So
Sure.
when that came in, I did send it off to
Okay.
the department. It's more of a FYI that it's in, and we are
Yep,
pulling the copies.
okay, yep, that's not a problem. I mean, we've never waived any fees in the past for these,
Right.
so I don't anticipate we'll do it this time.
And I think other than a few copies, he's going to be within the statute in regards to
few
the
dollars.
time.
Yeah,
So it
okay.
shouldn't be much of a fee.
Yep, that's fine. I'll pass that back over. Okay. Yep. Okay, next on the list, CEO Computer.
So, as you're aware, you have a budget freeze in place. The code enforcement officer brought that to me. He has a tablet that he uses downstairs that's tied into the wireless projector and internet, so that when he has planning board meetings and public hearings,
Yep.
he's able to access the maps online and everything. It wasn't the best choice purchase for us, for the department, a year or so ago when we bought it. It's not real user-friendly. It's a Windows Apple product that it's just not working well.
I don't think it was a lot of money when we bought it.
No, it
but
was just a few $100s.
yeah, it was worth trying to see if it was something that
Right.
was worth doing, so.
We have had our computer guy out a couple of times trying to make it
Oh.
user-friendly, but
Yeah. No, I've been to meetings where he's used it before, and, he does bring the things up on the screen with it, and it does
he
make it.
still uses it as a camera. It's similar to an iPad, so he
Yep.
uses it out on the field and
Yep.
the pictures, but
Yep.
he's looking for a laptop. You can see in his computer lines or his equipment line, there's more than enough money left over, but because it's
Yep,
The email that you sent out needed your
Right.
approval.
right. Yeah, I don't see an issue with that. I mean, it's something he's been working with, and he's got a piece of equipment that isn't working. So, and that's kind of why we put the freeze on, just so someone couldn't go out and spend his line down
Right.
frivolously, so.
We haven't gotten any other requests from any departments
No.
since we sent that out, so everyone's been good about,
So, is that okay with you?
Yes. So should I make a motion to accept
Sure.
Ken's request to purchase his laptop?
Moved and seconded to allow Ken to purchase a laptop. Any further discussion? Nope, call for a vote, all in favor, all opposed. Appointments. I don't think I got anything back yet from EMA Director.
So, as we talked about in the workshop hours, I'm gonna email you a list of all of the appointments that are due June 30th, so that you can start looking at them and deciding if you, want to reappoint these individuals, and certainly, you've told me to reach out to them to make sure they want to be reappointed. Just in case there's, you know, you never know what's gonna happen next week, just in case there's not a meeting. Per your request, I've created appointments for the code enforcement officer, the health officer, and the EMA officer. Those are essentially the three that would be expiring this month, should anything happen. You'd want to make sure you had in place. Fire chief is still active,
Yeah, he's got 2 more years.
tax collector, town clerk, treasurer, we went through the list.
These are all the same.
Most of the other ones that are expiring are going to be planning board, zoning board, those types of committees that
Yep.
we're still in the process of reaching out to them to make sure they want to be on the
Okay,
committee.
yeah, like I said, I haven't heard from the EMA Director, but,
He can certainly
appoint
respectfully
him and-
decline it if he so chooses.
yep, okay. So we have 3 appointments, as she said. The first one is for Ken Paul, the Selectman of the Municipality of Acton, do hereby, in accordance with the provisions of the laws of the state of Maine, hereby appoint you as Code Enforcement Officer, Plumbing Inspector, within and for the Municipality of Acton until June 30th, 2018. You want to do this separately or all together? Let's do them separately.
Yeah.
Okay? Do I have a motion on this one?
I make a motion that we appoint Ken Paul as code enforcement officer, local plumbing inspector, until June 30th, 2018.
I second that.
Okay, moved and seconded, any discussion? Nope, call for a vote, all in favor, all opposed. I'll read this one while you're signing that one. This is to Vicki Erickson, Victoria Erickson, the Selectman of the Municipality of Acton, do in accordance with the provisions of the state of Maine, hereby appoint you Health Officer within and for the Municipality of Acton until June 30th, 2018.
I move that we appoint Victoria Erickson for health officer until June 30th, 2018.
I second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed? The third one is for William Catanzi, a Selectman of the Municipality of Acton, do in accordance with the provisions of the laws of the state of Maine, hereby appoint you EMA Director within and for the Municipality of Acton until June 30th, 2018.
I move that we appoint William Catanzi for EMA director until June 30th, 2018.
I second that.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed?
I did inadvertently leave something off the agenda too, whenever you want to sneak in the junkyards.
Oh, yeah.
You need this or this?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. Good.
So that's, sorry, thank you.
Oh, this is,
So that's the email you got on March 31st. It's 9 pages, but the front one, that's,
Oh,
I don't know
yes.
how you want to handle it, but
sure. This is about the town administrator. That is a position that was created about almost 2 years ago now. So I will put that for you, if you want to read just that first.
Okay, it was, somebody had brought up a question of whether or not town administrator was changing the form of government here in Acton, and it was heavily researched as you see, there's 9 pages here of back and forth with MMA. Was it just MMA, I believe?
Yeah, that's the only opinion you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will read the final response.
That was back in March, right? When you
Yes.
first.
So, hi Jennifer, thank you for the additional information. I agree that you are a town administrator, not a town manager. Nothing you provided indicates that the select board has changed the form of government or otherwise given you authority or job responsibilities that would require a town meeting vote. And the roles were combined, because of the combination of roles, it was determined that she was doing more of a town administrator job than the office manager. And so that's why we changed the title to office, town administrator. So the form of government hasn't changed. She has taken on more roles in combined roles, and so the town administrator title seemed to fit rather than
addressing her as to which hat she might be wearing, we gave her a hat that covers all of it.
it covers all of it.
Can you speak on this?
As soon as we get to public comment. Okay. Anything else we need on that? I think that pretty much, that
Nope. So
says it
just
right
wanted
there. I mean, that was done well over a year and a half ago. Ted Kryzak actually was sitting in this chair when it was done, so it tells you how long ago it was. Junkyards, that was the one that was left off.
Yeah, and so probably, I know the board wanted to continue that. I forgot to put it on the agenda, but we had prepared the packets. So this is everything that Maine Municipal has on, and junkyards may be the incorrect word, but this is all of the samples from surrounding towns that you asked for. Title 30A, which is Chapter 183, that talks about the regulations, is all in here. I know you've told the public a couple of times that,
Yeah, and this isn't that we're looking to make junkyards, we're looking to see,
an ordinance, right?
yeah, we're looking to do quite the opposite, so.
So,
We've had a lot of complaints about many vehicles parked on property and possibly contaminating well water in addition to reducing property values. So it's something we need to look into in order to keep acting clean, I guess.
Yeah, keep it clean and looking like it should. Yep, okay, yep, we can take all that home and,
do you want me to continue to leave it on the agenda, or?
Yes, leave it on
Sure.
the agenda. We do need to do we decide to form a committee or have a public hearing? I think a committee may help in addition to I mean, this is a lot of information to look through, but to possibly look at other towns' ordinances, and then have a public hearing based on what we find.
yeah. I mean, we spoke to the CEO earlier tonight about it, and it was 3 or more cars, 2 or more cars, so 2 cars.
I think you said
Three
three
or more.
unregistered.
Yeah, 3 or more unregistered vehicles is not permitted. You know, that's when it kicks into being non-permitted. So, you know, and that doesn't mean go out and register all the cars you got in your driveway, but,
Yeah, and it's not only cars that are an issue, it's
debris, junk,
rubbish.
trash,
Outside, indoor furniture outside,
yeah. Yep,
so.
okay. Good. Public comment. Anyone from the public?
I see that we have a town administrator position.
State your name, please.
I'm Cindy Hart, Town Road Committee, and I think we need a town administrator and a town clerk. I just don't think they're the same job. The selectmen don't have the time that selectmen used to have to do the things they used to do, and therefore the job has expanded to more than really one person can handle, and still be everything else, town clerk, tax collector, and whatever else is there. Also, I think there should be a written job description for this, and we should advertise it and let everyone apply and have an opportunity. I don't think that ever happened before.
For what position do you want them to apply for?
For town administrator,
We already have a town administrator.
I think we should have a town
We do.
administrator.
We have one, it's Jennifer.
Well, I offered my opinion.
Thank you. No, I feel Jennifer does an excellent job at what she does, and she delegates out when she needs to. So,
You know, I'm hoping that this town administrator,
Just for the record, Jim, state your name.
Jim Driscoll.
Thank you.
Conversation here is not personal and is really about
I think it's about the
efficiency.
Spending $275,000 more than Shaq.
If you broke these three positions up, you would be spending more money. The argument you just put forward here is, would there be any increase in efficiency? Are the jobs not getting done? What is your argument? What's not being
My
done?
argument is the jobs aren't getting done.
The jobs are getting done. The jobs are getting done. Look at,
And this is, hold it.
Just a minute. Yeah.
Hold it, this is not personal.
Let's hold
Cindy,
it right now.
Cindy.
Stop, Cindy.
please,
Yeah,
please, Cindy,
yeah. Just address us and we'll address it from there, Jim.
please. These positions here, what Jennifer's doing, first of all, it's perfectly legal. This isn't a town manager position that you have to accept a town manager by ballot, by the people, put it in for so many months. It used to be 6 months, I don't know what it is, but this is, the way this job was created was perfectly legal. Let me tell you something. In 2006, when I got on this board of selectmen here, you want to talk about efficiency. There had been, over a 3-year period, there was $36,000 that was missing. Nobody stole it. It had to do with accounting issues, okay? And what would happen at the time was, because we had a clerk and a treasurer that couldn't cash out or didn't cash out every single day, what they'd do is at the end of the month, they'd take that money, end of the year, they would just go through the books and basically write the numbers off because they couldn't cash out daily actuals. We had a failing computer system, Northern Data. It didn't even have the fields to handle Acton, okay? We hired Jennifer. When we hired Jennifer, we went from Northern Data over to Trio. She implemented the whole,
He's talking to all of us. He can look wherever he'd like to look.
At the camera.
He was looking at the camera.
she put the whole town on the Trio, created the new fields that the town has now. Also, Jennifer and Michelle, every single day, this is the bottom line with small towns like Acton that handle their money in the town meeting form of government. Every single day, they cash out to the penny. The money you see on June 30th at the end of the year is the actual money that's been cashed out from day to day throughout the whole year. Since these two ladies have come in here, Acton has never, ever had the efficiency that it has now. To say that the jobs aren't getting done, that's ridiculous. I could tell you from sitting up here, I've seen what this young lady has done, what Michelle has done. This here has more to do, this little charade going on here, has more to do with efficiency in a town administrator position. The position is perfectly legal. You read it there. I knew it anyway. We'd already researched that. This argument here with this group of folks has zero to do with efficiency.
I just want to point out, too, that after I had visited or attended a budget workshop as required or suggested to for a new selectman, they had questions that I should bring back to Jen, the town clerk. And the questions were, I just was blown away at how organized she was. Everything labeled in certain drawers. She said, you know, this is how I cash out at the end of the day. Everything goes to the penny, and this is where it goes in this drawer, and then it goes into this drawer. And the computer system, backup system that she has is just, I've never seen anybody so more organized. I was blown away. I was like, well, I guess she's not, because the issue with the budget meeting is there are ways that other towns were stealing money, and there's no way. In addition to that, we have our town auditors that come in And they would like to hire Jen because she does such a really good job, and they've asked to take Jen away from us here in Acton. I don't know what we would do if they did take her away, but $10 million goes through this town every year, and every year she's to the penny.
Sir?
Brendan Meehan. There's a lot of emotion involved with this, and but what I'd like to say is that no, I'm not questioning Jennifer's capability. She does a wonderful job up here, and everybody does. What I think upsets everybody is the way in which it was done. Transparency and open decision-making are fundamental principles of the Maine Freedom of Access Act, and they are essential to ensuring continued trust and confidence in our government. Now, this should have been done in a much more open way. We would not have this problem if it would have been done in a more open way. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
One question, to request information, is there a particular form?
There is.
Where may I get that?
Jennifer's office.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. As far as the whole process being done out in the open, I remember when it was done at every meeting, it was talked about, discussed, completely open, you know. But where this town has come from in 2006 when she came here, from what it was before, is night and day. Some of these folks weren't around then to know what was going on, but as far as efficiency, I don't know where they get that argument, or it makes zero sense, none at all. Thank you. No, that office is amazing with what goes on in that office and how it all happens. You know, whether she does it herself or whether she delegates it out, you know, I've never seen anything get missed. So, and if it
Things get missed, we're human.
yeah, but it's very, very rarely, and if it is, it's something minor, so.
Hi, I'm Lois Mishu. I'm going to change the tune. I wanted to let y'all know, because I didn't have a chance to talk on the head department, that I did locate and get down 48 cemeteries, and I've got them so we know where they're located, and hopefully it moves on, and I can be mapped this year. Yay!
Yeah.
And I need to be appointed, guys, if you want me to start again. It's totally up to you guys. It's your call. Things are going. I have a volunteer. He's doing really great for me. I really appreciate it. He's allowing me to get the paperwork done that I need to get done, and he's out in the field busting his butt, and he does really, really well. I've heard nothing but very good feedback from him. He said if I was still in the position and he still needed help for next year, as long as, God willing, nothing happens to him, he's going to stick with me, and we'll head out. Hopefully the paperwork will be done by next spring. I'll have everything we're on, so Kenny can get it on maps, Jen will know where it is, and that way we'll all be on the same group. And all the rules will be out there, God willing, and so on and so forth. And this is how it's going. But I want to let y'all know I haven't fallen behind, and I'm doing the best I can. Always willing to take on volunteers. If you can't locate me, you can call Town Hall. Somebody up here will have my phone number, and they will gladly pass it out if it's a volunteer. If you own a cemetery, or you think you own one, if you have one on your property, you're more than willing to go out. Just do us a favor and not deal with the stones. If you have stone questions, give us a holler. We'll gladly help you out.
Sounds great, and you're still looking for more people to help you out.
I'm always looking for more people. Hey, I would love to have everybody that, I'm 70 out there, I'd love to have everybody on the 70 properties take over. Just say, hey, I'll do it. That way it would run us out of work, but it'd be better off for the town long run. But no, I just figured I'd let y'all know I'm out there. We're still busting, and I'm glad that he could be in the fields where I could get the paperwork done. That was the best thing, and I thank Steve 110% over. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anything else from the public? Nope. Dr. Williams.
William Williams. This has nothing to do with our administrator. I just wanted to partake some thoughts about openness. The meetings, with this one being an exception, appear to me oftentimes as simply announcement forums.
Speak up, please.
I'm sorry, I said the meeting today is an exception, but oftentimes our meetings of the selectmen announcement forums with the real meeting being held closed doors before the televised public meeting. My question is, why cannot the discussions on most subjects, obviously if you're in an executive session with personnel, person problems, that's something else entirely different. But for most issues, why can't those be discussed in public amongst the three of the select persons? Because there must be some dissent and some differences of opinion among the three. Meetings should contain some of these discussions, and I don't see it. It's almost as if everything has been finished and decided, and there's always a unanimous vote one way or the other. Again, I'm not talking about executive sessions. The agenda for weekly meetings negate the ability to post the agenda on the website for interested voters. Should the time for these meetings be changed occasionally? Agendas should be distributed in advance, whenever possible, for these meetings, not given out to just the few who show up in person just before the meeting. Again, perhaps we're having too many meetings. Perhaps weekly meetings should be changed to twice monthly or something of that sort. There should be standard items on the agenda, which we have, but it's not always been kept, including a report of the committees that you all have just today marked out on a schedule for visitation by the select persons. 1 or 2 department heads per quarter would be nice to have them come and tell the voters, both here present as well as on the television, some of the events that are occurring in his or her departments. Wouldn't have to be everybody, just maybe 1 a month or 2 a month. And then, of course, a report from the town administrator, as well as should be an automatic thing. Have a place on the agenda to discuss items which would require further data collection. We do that, but oftentimes that is a list that grows, but I never see it growing on the agenda. We should keep everything that hasn't been decided by the selectmen on a list for follow-up the next month or the next month, and it should stay on the agenda until a conclusion has been drawn.
I think we call that old business.
That's old business, but it's not always carried over. That's my point. And at the end of the meeting, a reminder to the audience in person and on television that should be given to the citizens to physically come forward as you do. Email comments, and make sure we have the email address on the television, in order to make appointments with the select persons. The school department is the largest department in our town government, and yet their postings of meetings, activities, lunch menus, etc., are not posted on our town website. If the people in the town do not have the time to make those entries and encourage people to use the website for information, speaking out, etc., then someone at the school should be given the authority to post such activities on the town website by the person in the school board.
There is a direct link to the school website from the town website.
Yes, there is, but again, sometimes it's a poor connection, you can't get it. We should have it on our town website since it is a department of our town. The school board has their own website, that's true, but I would certainly urge that so people can get the idea that the town of Acton has a very exciting and lively website that allows for finding out everything about the town at one stop. Lastly, would be the fact that I would urge not to be having workshops. That term is not accurate. If you're having a meeting, have a meeting. If it's a personnel or a problem or your executive session, that's understood. But otherwise, why not have most of the meeting in public and have it be televised? I think that any time that there's a locked door and something going on, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong, but it does bring up the idea that secrecy is probably not the best policy, because people then start to think about, what are they doing back there, etc. That's my only comments, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
I think you'll find we don't meet behind a locked door. Where there are times we do meet, the three of us, with our town administrator. The doors are open between the hall and that office. There are things we need to bounce around and discuss, and
And that's why I would hope it would be
Yep,
done in public.
yep. Well,
Hi.
Hi.
Susan Meehan. So just to go a little bit on what Will was saying about the website, I was on there the other day and the drop-down window for Selectmen, hit that, and it was a blank page. So what I would like to see there is actually photographs of the three of you, your names, your emails, and maybe a little bio. What do you think?
not a bad idea. I like that.
So that way they can contact you, because I had to search all over the website. So while I was searching all over the website, I noticed on the drop-down, there were a lot of blank pages, like for the code enforcer, for the planning board. So I would like to see those pages filled with the names of who's on the committees and when they meet. But for the selectmen, I'd really love to see your pictures, your contact info, and a short bio.
Okay.
So when do you think you can do that?
Within the next 30 days.
We actually, we've bounced around the idea of a new website. It's not very user-friendly for either side.
Right, so if we can go back to her first comment first, so there shouldn't be, we do have a way to hide pages on there, and there shouldn't be any blanks. I will tell you that this website is not real Internet Explorer friendly, it's more Mozilla friendly. I just clicked on all those pages just to make sure that they weren't blank, because they shouldn't be, because I do maintain the website. So I'll double check on the blank pages. There shouldn't be any. I'm hoping it's not the Internet Explorer, but like when I just click on.
Well, I don't use Internet Explorer, I actually
using
use Foxfire.
Foxfire.
And I have a Windows-based computer, which is probably 80% of the, well, probably it's 50% now, use Windows, and the other 50 use Apple.
When you clicked on boards, it doesn't go right to the minutes?
It doesn't give you any contact info,
Oh, no, I agree with you there. No, and that's completely separate. If they decide they want to do that.
because that's what I was looking
Oh,
for,
yeah,
was
no,
the contact info.
I'm more concerned with the blank pages, because I just want to make sure there really
I
shouldn't
believe
be
it
any-
was just blank, and so then I had to go to your site.
Right.
Because I kept on looking around, and I said, well, this is crazy. So I had to go to your site to actually find out who the select people were. I was like,
When you say my site, what does that mean? My page, the town clerk
I
page?
think it was under the town clerk.
Okay. Do you have a minute after the meeting so we can just look at a couple things to make sure that if there's blanks that I can fix and I need to know?
Sure.
But if you guys want bios, just let me know and we'll certainly get that added.
And photographs. I think they need
Can
photographs.
they be from 20
The
years ago?
committees-
Mine's from 20 years ago. I think that's okay.
You'd look fine. Yeah, no photoshopping. But as far as the committees go, I think all the people's names that are on the committees, and then you should have a committee, each committee should have an info email that, within the committee, they can decide who has to keep up with the
Chair.
email.
That's something we actually just started doing, was a email address for each committee member within the last couple
You
of
don't even
months.
have to have it for each committee member. You can have planning board, you can have info at planning board, info/planning board at town of
Acton.
Acton. That's how you can do it. And then that way, you're only doing one email per committee instead of, because some of the committees have 5 people on them.
Right, 5 to 6.
And so, I don't know how many emails you get with your Comcast?
It's a private server, Tedo.
Oh, okay, so
it's-
I don't know how many
Yeah,
emails
it's
he
pretty
gives you.
unlimited. And the board can certainly do that, but on elected committees, like the Warren and Finance, and I know you just did it for the road committee, although you took the little break, so those are just kind of out there. Those, you gotta make sure they get all the same information, but when you have, if you have any that are appointed committees, we can make one generic email address.
With a little background of what the committee does, and if the committee needs volunteers, they should be posting that.
Lois is jumping up and down.
All right, make a site for yourself or within the town, and definitely put your contact info. But have it online so people can, somebody could be sitting at home tonight and watching this fantastic show about the town of Acton, and they may want to sign up. Now they'll be able to find your contact info. Okay? So,
Sounds good.
but the three of you, we really need a face with the name.
Sure. No, I think that's a good idea. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Williams, again, I would ask that you all consider having your email addresses visible right with your nameplates, and one for the town as well. What we want is people to call in or to email in, and preferably to come in if we get an agenda out on the website quickly enough. And some of that may require some rejuggling of when we have meetings. I don't know, as I said, whether a weekly meeting is necessary. If that be the case, then I think that probably having an agenda out there is going to be hard to do. But if it's every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks, that would allow for an agenda to be put up there.
It's not doable.
Yeah, we definitely, I
Yeah.
mean, we definitely
We
need
need-
weekly meetings, because I have
yeah.
enough information I have to update
Yeah.
you with. I mean,
We've gone from twice a week to once a week.
Okay, that's
So,
fine.
and-
But then we need to work out some sort of a way to have the agenda already
And the
put in
thing
place.
with agenda is, because I'm their secretary, I mean, they're pretty much making it, you know, I mean, and just to give you an update if I can. So basically, during the week, I keep an ongoing list for the selectmen. I email them constantly, call them with emergencies. And I have a list, so when I go in there, and this is Kim's first meeting, so I'm gonna put her on the spot, because she doesn't, we have no type of relationship, nor does she with those, but she'll tell you some of the things that were said. So like, for example, I said, Chair, it's gonna be on the agenda, the first thing you guys gotta do. I'm gonna talk about liaisons, I've got a couple of appointments that you need to go through. Need you to decide if you're going to put them on there. There is a dog bite situation that we didn't bring to the public. It's something ongoing that really doesn't need to be advertised. Freedom of information, CEO computer, Down East Energy, Fire Department. I did bring to, you know, we see the bills as they come in. I brought a concern about how much propane is being used. It was just an FYI, they made no decisions. And billing with the ambulance department. There's a little bit of a lag that we're working out as to why we haven't received any payments. But these are FYI things that happen during the week that I make notes. But 99% of it does come to the meeting, but they tell me at that point at 4 o'clock what they want on the agenda. So if that's something you guys decide you want to do with agendas, it would have to be a different day, because as you see, as I wrote, you know, that's,
And the only thing that I'm asking is that
I'm just
if
trying
you
to figure out
could
how we can make
do
that
as much
happen.
discussion in public as we
And
could
honestly,
possibly
we do.
do.
I'm gonna let
It's
Kim
almost
speak
like
on that.
you're asking us to, it's like we do need the planning time. We're not making decisions behind closed doors. We're talking about what's gone on this week. I get emails that they never see, so I bring in what I see for emails, and we talk about it, what needs to be on the agenda, what can be handled through Jen, what can be handled through me emailing back.
But even the things that Ms. Rue has to end up dealing with, that can still be, if it's an interesting item, ought to be brought up.
So in this case, the fire department propane and the dog bite are the two things that we, you know, and so I can certainly, you know, it's up to you. I mean, I
And
try
again,
to use.
if there's nothing, then it's finished and it's taken off. If they're still waiting until you get something back, keep it on the tickler list. And the tickler list will probably grow, as they usually do, but we need to constantly go over them to make sure that a conclusion has been made.
For me today, it helped a lot, because, I mean, I've never been up here.
Right,
So
I
it was very
understand.
good to, you know, go
Yep.
through these things, show me
Yes.
exactly what we're doing, show me the warrants that I have to sign.
And would you say that list was accurate that I went over?
Oh,
And we didn't go over any more than that?
No, just that.
And sometimes Jen likes to have a surprise for us that she doesn't tell us about. So
Well, like with the
so-
liaisons, you know, we started to list them out, and I'm like, we'll have that general conversation in there. I mean, I may give them the subject matter, and as you saw us go through and make the list, but we're not, you know, they're not making decisions. I mean, you know, and any former selectman anyways, you know, can tell you, I mean, I'm their biggest opponent when it comes to them, you know, I mean, I think one of the first things I said to Kim is, you know, no coffee with Elise, no phone calls, no two makes a quorum. I mean, I'm their biggest,
I understand,
You know.
I understand that completely.
So
I'm
we are
just asking-
trying, but I think you
I'm
have
just
some good
asking to
points.
look at the whole process a little bit more deeply.
points.
And see if we can't get a little bit more out to the public. Because I got a lot of people coming to me over the last couple of weeks that said that, you know, why do they sit in there before the meeting and make their decisions and then come out and just give the decisions. Everybody votes yes or everybody votes no. And of course, that is an exaggeration, but I'm just saying there's perception out there that if you're doing something in secret, that maybe it's not a good thing.
Thank you.
Me again. One thing, Mr. Chairman, you forgot to introduce the new selectman.
You're right, I did. But then again, the meeting's not over yet. I might have been saving the best for last. Hey? Yes, I would like to welcome Kim to the Board of Selectmen. She comes to us brand new with no background in it, really. So it's a fresh face, fresh mind, which I think is very good. So, welcome very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome.
And I did order you a name tag, nameplate.
I didn't feel right putting it up here, putting the bills up here with no name on it, so, and one done with a Sharpie would be even worse, so, yeah. Yes, sir.
Brendan again, did you get your copy of the Board of Selectmen bylaws?
Have I yet? No,
I haven't given it to her, no. She
did-
came in today at 2:30,
yeah,
and that's the first time we've sat
Okay.
down.
yeah. I'll be getting everything. I've,
Okay.
keys and codes and.
Just asking.
Just
I'd like to
start
get a
with
copy myself.
Okay.
I don't know that there's bylaws. We have a municipal officer's manual in the training class that I told you about. Is that what you're referring to, in municipal manuals?
Usually, Board of Selectmen will have a set of bylaws. There are, if you go on, searching through the web to find, most of the towns, Elliott,
But are those are
Kennebunkport.
they chartered that have they accepted as a town these bylaws? Because like the fire department has bylaws, but they had to accept them as a town.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not
Right.
sure that
more
Acton has
More towns
ever,
that have charters.
Right.
think that
Well, I
Acton's
have a
ever-
sample, I have a sample one that I pulled off of online. I'll give it to you, and you can, bylaws of Board of Selectmen. You may want to
Thanks.
develop something like that. It's just, from what I can tell, it just
guidelines.
dictate, guidelines of how the board proceeds.
Oh.
That's
The
just
manual that you can
I
have
w-
will be
What I
similar.
did is I went online seeing if Acton had
Yeah.
the Board of Selectmen bylaws, and there wasn't anything, and
All of the ordinances that I've been able to find since I started here in '06, we have on the website. And I've never heard I know the fire department has bylaws, but I've never heard of the selectmen. And we, for a variety of road issues, have gone back into the books many times, into the 1800s, and I've never seen anything, but
anyway.
certainly if somebody has information, we'll
May
look
take a look
again.
at it.
Thank you.
Remind me, I'll give you that manual before you leave.
And once again, these are all different per town, like this one here, for instance, says 5 members, we're a 3-member.
Right.
But it's
But-
just
Yeah.
it's like a charter.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, great,
Charter that you can adopt.
sure, thank you. Yes, I don't know what town that's for, but that's, yeah, there you go, you can look at it and pass it up to Jennifer to do. Okay, anything else, anyone else from the public? Nope. You don't have any announcements tonight, do you have any announcements? Library announcements?
A week from tomorrow, June 28th, we have Jordan Benison coming. He's the West African drummer he's a professor at Colby College. He will be coming here Wednesday morning, 9:30 to 11, to kick off our summer reading program. So there'll be drums in the Acton Town Hall again. Unless it's nice, we're going to try to go outside.
Suzanne, you made me think of something. I'm sorry, I forgot my other glasses. But what do you have on your website in regards to the library?
That's another, I don't have an IT department, it's me. And I try to do it all, and it's really hard to do it all. But I do have,
I guess I'm kind of focusing on the website
It's
and
huge, though.
everything.
It's
Is-
social media.
It's a lot
this
of
is
work.
called, younger people. I mean, there's a lot of gray hair out there, and I'm one of them. So it would be nice if we could engage younger people into the town government. And the way to do it is
Through the internet.
is email, websites, Facebook,
Twitter.
all those things.
The library has a Twitter if you want to follow us, but I don't put anything on it.
From the town perspective, and this is a conversation that you guys can have amongst yourselves or, for the next meeting, but, so, with prior selectmen, there's always been the question of whether or not the library is a department of the town. Is it,
It's an extension, and I think it's an
I agree with you, but
important
it's not
part of it, especially all the children activities she does.
yeah, and I'm not here to question, I'm just telling you, they've had the conversations, and Ed can relate, Elise knows from last year, so there was a big concern whether or not it was a department. So we have a link on our homepage to the Acton Public Library. Because it wasn't a department, we've never gotten any other instruction. It links right to their library, their website. So we don't maintain their page because they weren't a department. So certainly if you want to change that, we can help with that too, but
That's a big
I
change.
need a consensus from the board.
That
because
changes,
My thing
unfortunately,
is
it
I
changes as
didn't,
selectmen change.
I didn't want to I hardly have time to maintain the library website, never mind going onto the town website and maintaining that one. So we just did a direct link, which is why the school does a direct link,
Right.
because nobody wants to do two websites.
I'll
One's hard
probably
enough.
be here every week asking questions about the website, so
Yeah.
just fair warning.
you don't set up websites, do you?
No, I don't.
anybody out there-
Trying to reel you in.
Well, we
Good
have,
job,
I mean,
yeah.
and if we're gonna go on that, I mean, and I love our computer guy, you know that, he's done a great
Yep.
job, but if you look at the school's website, I mean, it is very, it's much more user-friendly, I mean, when I have to, just gonna get me started on this, so when you go to, for example, if you go to the town's website and you look at town meeting minutes, for example, you go to the top and you look at, warrant elections and results. So you're going to see the election results and town meeting results from every election. The very first one on there is June 12th of 2017, 2007, which is the first one that I started with. So when I started maintaining the website, we started putting these on there. But each one of these hyperlinks is a PDF. And the way that our website works currently, so you need to go into the admin, you need to upload the PDF, you're going to save it, then you're going to copy the hyperlink, and then you're going to go type this text in, and you're going to direct it. Now, Mike Corey, who has shown me some of the things that the school does, theirs is much more user-friendly, but it's, twice or three times the money, but maybe it's time to think about that. There is a lot of things that their website can do that ours can't, like the calendars and stuff that someone mentioned, the school committee calendars. We're required to post notices of the Board of Selectmen. It makes perfect sense to post the school meetings. We just have to make sure that they're in parentheses and people know they're not here, so they're not trying to come here. The meetings that we post are to cover freedom of information and for filming, so to make sure that our department head gets them filmed. But you could join the calendars together, but it would be rewriting our entire website. He's offered that a couple of times, but
Maybe time to
you know.
update it, and if we could update it somehow and make it easier.
well, it would.
Oh.
I mean, it would definitely be easier. I mean, but it's
When was the last time our site was actually,
maybe Mr. Poignant, 'cause
when was the last time our site?
I
Is
started-
that still the original site?
I started
that
working
we-
in 2006 for the town of Acton, and like I
Okay,
said,
so there
that's,
must be a lot of updates since then that we could,
well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is we've had the same site
Yeah.
since then. And as much as I feel like there's a lot of information on there, she's certainly right, that is the future. And
Yeah.
if you can't get there quickly by, Google or Facebook or Twitter or, that's
Yep.
definitely
one of the
the way to
problems
go.
I've always had with the site, I've gone on there to see when the transfer station is open. You click on one of the, I don't remember exactly what I clicked on, but it comes up with, you have to go to this other site to find it.
Right. So if you go under
The
departments
directory.
and you go under, right, you have to look at the municipal directory.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to get into too much about talking about the negatives of our,
Yeah,
and I'm not saying they're negatives, Ted,
No,
let me
they're
just
just
put that out there. There are some things we could do differently
Yeah.
that, like, for example, when we have a snow day or the transfer station is closed, my phone is what I have for internet at home. We don't have a regular computer anymore. So I can update the cable channel, I can email channels 6, 8, and 13 from home, I can email all the staff, I can do all my administrative duties, telling them that the selectmen have closed the town hall. But I can't update the website. I have to send that to my IT guy because through my Apple phone, they don't talk to each other.
yeah.
Oh,
So there certainly are things, and I'll, be with her on that, and if you want to look at, some money in a computer line and see if we could,
It also comes with an expense.
there would definitely be some change, but we would need a few weeks to change it over. It would be a big process. Maybe a nice fall process.
No,
But Summer is tough to,
yeah. No, I mean, I think it's a very good and valid
they're
point that
valid
was brought
points,
up.
a lot of
so-
them are.
Yeah.
And then again, just, I brought two young people to the town meeting, two young, really intelligent, smart people. And I think everybody in the room should try to bring some young people, try to talk them into coming in, because they're the ones who are going to have to deal with what we do. And they should have a say. And there are kids out there who, they're scared to come because we're all old, gray, decrepit people. And you know how it was when you were 25 and you were looking at the Board of Selectmen and no one was reaching out to you. You all should try to get younger people involved.
I agree. I've been saying that for a long time, that the town meeting, we had, what, 42 registered voters there, where the Tuesday before, we had 287 people come in here and cast a ballot. If we had the 287 down there, it's a far bigger slice of the people in town to make a decision on a $6 million budget. You know, which is, which.
Way too many secret, not secret, I'm sorry, didn't mean to say that. Special need
Groups.
elections. Way
Yeah.
too many.
Yeah, I agree.
They should be on the ballot.
If I've been saying this for years. I mean, I'd much rather come up here and sit in a booth and cast a ballot for 50 or 60 questions than go down there and spend an entire, 3/4 of a Saturday. So I'm just putting that out there for thought. So, it's just, so, because like I say, you're getting 42.
Lebanon does it that way.
Pardon?
Lebanon does it that way.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting 42 people that are that are deciding, which doesn't, it's not convenient to start with for our public, to go down there and spend a Saturday. Convenience, to me, is giving them 12 hours to come up here and go in and vote their concern, so.
As long as they bring their patients, because you'll be in the booth a little longer.
Oh, yeah, yep, I mean, what a lot of people don't.
And absentee, but there's always absentee balloting.
And I lived in another town that did that. They went from the town meeting, floor town meeting, to the ballot. And what you do is it's publicized, it's out there, there's meetings, there's workshops, there's, discussions about it. And basically, you make yourself a little cheat sheet, you walk in there, now you know what you're gonna vote on. So you're not reading the whole thing right then and there. You don't make an informed decision by reading the whole thing right then and there. You need to have a well-informed decision to know how you want to vote, so.
And you're right, because younger people, it's hard with young kids to spend 5 hours or 4 hours, or even
Yeah.
2 hours,
It was
it's
5,
hard.
a little over 5.
Here's an idea. We get our tax bills twice a year, right?
Once
Well,
a year.
Once a year, 2 bills once a
Pay
year.
it twice.
It's in there.
But you mail it out twice a
No,
year.
once a
Oh,
year.
man.
Oh, you
2
do?
little tear-offs on the bottom.
I-
There goes that idea.
Well, no, it's not complete, it's not as good as I thought it would be. But I was thinking, how difficult would it be to put like a one-page newsletter in with the tax bill? That way, every person that owns property in town is getting a tax bill. Everybody gets a tax bill. And then you put a newsletter in, probably written by the select people, and just kind of how exciting Acton is and blah, blah, blah.
Summary of the year before, or upcoming dates, or what are you thinking?
Probably it could be a combination of both. I had thought it was twice a year.
Well, and it's funny you say that, so I'm gonna go off track
Because
real
then I
quick.
thought the first one could go over the October could go over what had happened and reminders of the town hall meeting in June.
There's no reason why
That
we
type of
can't
thing.
do a second mailing.
Yeah, and we may want to think about, sending tax bills out twice a year. I mean, and based on the postage, so we send out tax bills once a year, and they've got the 2 stubs on it. So after April comes and goes, generally, we're supposed to just file 30-day notices. I've always sent out reminder letters because it's hard for people to remember, and if the amount of postage that I spend to send that reminder letter, and probably, I bet 80% pay from just the reminder letter, because they forget about the April payment, so we've had a lot of comments lately about, would you consider sending 2 letters? So it's just a matter of figuring out the printing, times the postage, and,
If you're sending out the reminder letters, what's the difference?
And
Whether
now
you're doing
a
that or-
newsletter with
not a
that.
newsletter.
So,
Newsletter.
okay, thank you. Okay. Do you have anything else?
Oh, no.
Do you have anything?
I am good.
It's a lot to
Anything
think
else,
about,
Jennifer?
thank you.
I'm going to add all these things, no charm.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second that.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor? All opposed?
Thank
Thank you.
Very much.